Hello students. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the derivation for electric potential. In our last video lesson we have discussed about the concept of electric potential, and today we will take the derivation for electric potential. So let's start. First of all, to understand this derivation, let us take the following example here. Let us say we are having, suppose here, a plus capital Q charge like this, and say we want to shift another test charge, some small plus q, in the vicinity of this plus capital Q charge, something like this at point P. Let us say P is the point where we want to find out the potential of capital Q. Okay, already we have discussed earlier that the electric potential can be given by V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q upon R, where Q is the charge of which potential we want to find out at point P, and R is the distance at which we want to find out the potential of that charge. So that's formula already we have taken earlier. Now we have to take the proof for this. Okay, so let's take. So suppose we are shifting like this a charge Q. As you can see in this diagram, the charge is going from here to here at point P. So when you are shifting this charge from infinity to point P, okay, obviously both charges are here positively charged, so therefore there will be a force of repulsion given by this capital Q charge, where on this small plus Q charge. Let us say both charges are positively charged here, right? So in order to find out how much work is required to take that small q from infinity to point P, that work done per unit charge will be defined as the electric potential of capital Q. Be careful, we want to find out electric potential of this charge, where at point P. That is our intention here, right? Now let us say when we are shifting this charge, we have to take some work, or we have to perform some work. Let us say the distance of this point P from capital Q charge is small r, as shown in the diagram. Okay. Further, let us say when we are shifting the charge small q from infinity to that point, say P, during the path, let us say we are having a point A, as shown in this diagram like this here, right? Now let us say the distance of this point A from the capital Q charge is, suppose here, x, and now see, let us say the electric field of capital Q, see here, this is the capital Q charge, here we are at point A, so obviously this charge will give some electric field here like this, right? So let us say direction of that electric field is, suppose, like this, as shown in this diagram by this red arrow, right? Now let us say we are shifting the charge from infinity now, okay, as already we have told. Now when we are shifting the charge from infinity to point P, during that path, let us say we are moving for a very small displacement, some dx, that is from A to B, as shown in this diagram. Okay, what we are doing here, we are shifting the charge from, suppose, A to this point. Let us say this point is, suppose, B, and the displacement which we have traveled here when we are shifting the charge from infinity to point P, okay, let us say when we are going from A to B, that displacement is, suppose, here dx. Okay, very important thing, when we are shifting this charge from infinity to that point P, that time we have to make sure that the charge is not accelerated. Okay, that is very important aspect here. When you are shifting the test charge from infinity to the point P, there is no acceleration of small q. Okay, what are the consequences that you will again learn afterwards if there is suppose what we can say that the acceleration of the small q. So we are not accelerating that charge. That is the important thing here, right? Now further, let us say now we want to find out the small work done required to go from A to B. Well, we are going small displacement dx. So in that process, what amount of work is required, that let us try to find out. So that work can be given by dw is equal to here f into dx as shown here. Okay. Now further if I solve, then the net work done from infinity to P. Okay, for small a to b we have taken, that was say f dot dx. If I want to find out the net work done to go from infinity to point P, I have to make all such type of slots, small dx and small works done dw and so on. So here I have to take the integration, right? So the net work done can be given by w is equal to here integration dw, and if I put the values here, then it turns to be integration q e dx cos of 180. Now how it is coming? See, basically we have work done that will be given by f into dx basically, but as we know that f can be expressed in terms of q into e, right? And then this becomes dx, right? So that's why we are writing here q into e into dx. Now as far as the theta is to be concerned, look at here, our electric field is like this towards this side, and the movement which we are making here, it is towards this side. So they are opposite to each other. That's why the angle is here 180. And as far as this cos is to be concerned, how it is coming? If I take here q dot dx, let us say it is into qe, right? So in that case, the dot product for this, that is e dot dx, will be given by e dx cos of theta, and theta is the angle between e and dx. So that's why we are writing like this, right? So this is the work done now here, and we are moving from infinity to the distance r. So that's why we are taking the limits from infinity to r. Now further, if I solve, cos of 180 is nothing but -1. So that's why the work done will turn to be integration from infinity to r minus qe into dx. Let us solve further. Now I will shift this q, this one. This is the, just a minute. So I can write now this q toward this side, I can shift it. That's why it becomes w upon q. So w upon q will be equal to here minus times integration of e dx from infinity to r. This thing is clear? What is w upon q? As per our previous definitions, w upon q, that is work done per unit test charge, is nothing but the electric potential, right? So this w upon q can be written as v in the latter stage. So we can write here further, w upon q is equal to v. That will be equal to minus times integration 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q upon x square into dx. How it is coming? See, in our previous case, I will show you here. You can see this is E, right? So the electric field of this charge at say x or say at A, what will be that? That will be nothing but 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into q upon r square. R square means now here x square. Distance is x, so therefore electric field of this source charge at A will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into q upon x square. So that's why we are taking here that step as this one, right? So this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into q upon x square is the electric field of capital Q at distance x. Now simply we will solve this integration and then we will come to the conclusion that what is the electric potential of charge capital Q at point P. Okay. Now further if I solve, I can write it here, W by Q is equal to V, that will be equal to integration Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 x raised to minus 2. What I have done here, I have taken this x square in upward direction now. Earlier it was in denominator, now I have taken it as numerator. So power will obviously change. So that's why this turns to be x to the power minus 2 dx. Now look at the quantities here in this integration. Almost all the quantities are constant here except that x raised to minus 2 and dx. So what I will do here now, I will write the value for v and the answer for v will be written in terms of constants multiplied by that remaining integration. So that's why we can write now here v is equal to minus time, you can see here, q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into integration x to the power minus 2 dx, and limits are from infinity to r. Why limits are from infinity to r? Because we are shifting the charge from infinity to the point P. That's why the limits are taken like this. Okay, at point P, the distance of point P from the charge is nothing but here r. So that's why we have taken limit r, right? Now what is the integration for x raised to minus 2 dx? Already we have discussed about this in our previous classes also and earlier also. Okay, it's very simple integration. So if you solve this, we can write like this: v is equal to minus times q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into the integration for this is now x raised to minus 1. So that we can write here, right? So further, if I solve, if I put the limits now here, then we can write here this as q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r raised to minus 1 minus infinity raised to minus 1. Okay, so in this way we can write the answer, right? One thing which is very important here, see this is minus 1 here and this is minus also. So this minus 1 and this minus, it becomes plus. So that's why in our next step here we are getting the plus q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r raised to minus 1 minus infinite raised to minus 1. And if you solve further, then you will get v is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into q upon r. And this is the expression for electric potential of capital Q at a distance r at a point P. So you can find out the electric potential now in general for any charge, and that can be given by this. Okay, so already we have taken this formula, just we have taken here proof now, and we have tried to understand that how this formula is coming. So this is all about the concept of electric potential and how to find out the electric potential for the case of a charge. Okay, so we will stop here. Thank you very much for watching this video.